PDP power, BODE George chairman. PDP power, BODE George chairman. PDP power.
As a retired officer and gentleman, a former military administrator, an astute politician and Democrat, a business mogul, he was called upon to serve as the head of the NPA to fix the rot in the system, and immediately he got the job done. He cleared the mess and made the institution effective. Meanwhile, adversaries who detested reformation and foes that were terrified by BODE's patriotic political prowess came up with trumped-up charges, but after a painstaking investigation, EFCC released a report which denounced the false allegations against BODE George and exonerated him. However, detractors refused to desist from making false claims. They reared their heads again, cooked up fallacious charges, and with evil machination imprisoned BODE George. But the malevolent judgment of the lower court was appealed, and the Supreme Court proved the innocence of BODE George, upturned the decision of the lower court, and BODE George was vindicated. In the words of Justice J. Fabi of the Supreme Court, he said, "It occurs to me that the entire proceedings ran foul of the provisions of Section 36 subsection 8 of the 1999 Constitution from the word go. It must be presumed that when the appellants were put on trial, it was on the basis that there was no prima facie case which showed intention to defraud. If that was not evident, the case ought not to proceed to trial. Such action does not reflect well on our jurisprudence. A court of law should be wary of such practice." The Supreme Court also said the appellants were not shown to have benefited from any contract awarded, and none of the companies to which contracts were awarded belonged to the appellants, and it was a complete mistrial by the lower courts. Despite the persecution and humiliation BODE George suffered for the sake of PDP and democracy, he never wavered in his commitment. When others were walking away from the party, he remained steadfast. When others were turning their backs, he confronted the behemoth. When others were decamping, he went on to build bigger camps for PDP. When others were tearing the party down, he continued building bridges to expand the base of the party. And BODE George is not tired. He continues to hope, showing strong faith that PDP will rise and shine again and will bring Nigerians out of the dark oblivion into the light of prosperity. BODE George, the captain, has come to steer the ship. BODE George has come to lead the party. He has come to lead PDP so he can retake its rightful position as the ruling party that will bring Nigerians out of poverty into prosperity, out of panic into peace, and out of shame into a shape of choice. Opposition politics requires a disciplined, bold leader and statesman like BODE George.
But here in Lagos, like I told him when I met him, I told him that Chief Olabode George, we will support you for that position.
I hate doing comparative analysis of name, matters, and events. But as regards BODE George, I can say with all emphasis at my command that he is a very, very principled person and is a hard fighter. When he believes in the cause, he fights strongly the cause until the very end.
The Attorney Dua of Yoruba land is committed to returning the party to the people to consolidate eternal democracy. He will introduce a well-defined political ideology for the PDP with standard democratic norms. BODE George has promised to reorganize, encourage, and integrate capable youth and women into governance and the party machinery at all levels, with a fixed percentage to be implemented. He is committed to uniting all geopolitical zones in Nigeria under the PDP umbrella and eschew all religious and tribal sentiments through the PDP. BG, as it is called, BODE George is dedicated to ensuring a level playing field for all leaders and members in order to give them a true sense of belonging. For popular candidates to emerge, delegates should vote for their conscience by endorsing Olabode George for prosperity. Let all PDP stakeholders learn to put the party before self, or they may all lose out in the long run. BG is the right man for a time like this.
Vote BODE George as the national chairman of PDP. PDP, power to the people.